Hello everybody, Glitch Reaper here. I'm back for some more Magic Duels with Chandra's story. And this will be the last part. So this is that moment where Burning Defiance is literally just illustrated beyond all doubt. Uh, Even as your executioner looms over you, the grief over losing your parents and Baral's stifling counter magic prevent you from fighting back. But one last spark of defiance still burns inside you, and it's begging to be freed. In other words, she wants to be the firebrand that she is and is not going to let anyone stop her, including a wizard that just loves using counters. This guy's choice of hand wears, but different. So we're up against Captain Baral himself. That's classic. Okay. This looks fast and effective. As long as he doesn't have super early counters, I could be fine. Because a pirate charger is definitely a good idea. Because they come out really fast. So I play a mountain. Just a quick reminder about lands. They don't count as spells. You never cast them. You always just play them. Visible Stalker hexproof and it can't be blocked. Oh, it's the Invisible Man. I'm going to have issues with the Invisible Man. I can see that. Okay. But since that would be a bit of a problem, I don't mind throwing my Pirate Charger right at him. Because he's probably gonna want to keep that card. That's the thing is, even the AI has certain creatures that it tries to save more than others that it considers important for various things. So sometimes you can actually attack and be fairly safe because they won't actually block with it. But this one has a special ability to keep attacking and not being blocked, so you can imagine they want to keep that in play. And it has hexproof, which means you can't target it with your spells. Basically, if something has hexproof, it is immune to being targeted by spells that its opponent controls. Oh boy, claustrophobia, which would have been very nice if this had that ability, because they're gonna keep that tapped from then on, so that's gonna be a problem. On the other hand, now they're tapped out on their lands. Okay. Ravaging Blaze, I can't really use it against that because I have to initially target that. But I might be able to get out some of my other things later, so... Oh, it'll keep telling me I can do something whenever I can't really, because this thing can be powered up, but I can't actually use my Pirate Charger because it's continuously tapped. That, I can't block that anyhow, so it'll just go through. I don't even have to bother deciding. Another Invisible Stalker. This could go terribly bad. Well, I have some spare Manic Vandals. They're not the best, but... here comes some counter magic. From relapse, counter target spell. If that spell is countered this way, put it on top of its owner's library instead of into that player's graveyard. See, normally whenever you counter a spell, it goes to the graveyard of the person who controls the countered spell. Or owns it, actually. So... in this case, it's saying to do something different. In that case, it's going to be thrown on the top of my library instead. So, here it goes. Right back that way. See, those have hexproof anyhow, so this is one of the few times I can really attack with this card going. I wouldn't be able to do anything else with it anyway. So, they do cancel each other out. Normally, I wouldn't risk losing that young pyromancer, but this is a special exception. Also, it's kind of for the finale, so yeah. They've still got plenty of mana to spend, so unless they cast another spell in a moment. Okay, let's see. Yep. Another memory lapse. This is literally a repeat of last round. So this is a very stifling setup that may require a lot of luck. I could wind up doing several takes on this. It's been a while since I did this particular part of the story. He's got to run out of that card eventually. Yeah, this is the third copy. You can only have 4 copies in a deck of anything other than a basic land unless it says so on the card. So he's cast that 3 times. He could only theoretically have 1 more. Now he can still have other counters, admittedly, but just not that one. It's still attacking. This is a very slow motion fight. At least this version. Of course, if he spends more mana on something big, then he won't have enough left over to cast counters. Ah, he did kind of run out of that card temporarily. That's good to know. Rogue's Passage. That's a little... this card is a little redundant right now, because one of its special abilities, other than providing colorless mana, is that you can pay for and tap it to make a target creature unblockable until the end of the turn. So this thing's already unblockable, so that's kind of a little redundant. Okay, now I'm picking up some steam because this Phoenix has haste. That's Chandra's Phoenix. As flying, haste, it's otherwise a 2/2 creature, but return target non-land permanent to owner's hand. Disperse. He's probably gonna send that one flying back to me. Yeah, I figured. And thing is that also, if I can deal damage with a red sorcery or instant or the ability of a red planeswalker, that can be returned from my graveyard to my hand. So it's kind of a repeating threat. Either way, I'm starting to close the gap now, so that really helps. Don't know what he's got as his other card though right now, and he's gonna get and we'll see about that. Aha! Another. I'm gonna surprise him. Instead of using the Phoenix, I'm gonna use this Fire Fiend Elemental because it has haste and renown. Arcane Denial. Counter target spell's controller may draw up to 2 cards at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. You draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. Okay, so it's a bit of a cheaper counter, but then it gives you extra draws too. Thing is, I was going to use that creature with haste to just maul into him quickly. And if it had hit, a Fire Fiend Elemental's ability of Renown will kick in, meaning it gets a +1/+1 counter and is considered for a round. So from then on, it'll be a bit better. But he didn't go for that. I will draw those 2 cards. Oh, good, good. He's attacking. I have a lot of cards right now, but I also have a good amount of land, so I'll be able to spin some more this time. The problem is he's got a ton of land as well. Okay. Ooh. Arcane Teachings. Gen creature is +2/+2 and has tap. This creature deals 1 damage to target creature or player. That could be incredibly handy. I think I'll throw the Fire Fiend out to see if I can draw his counters, because that could be more of a clutch thing a little later. Oh. Fell for it. Either that or he doesn't have a counter left in his hand. Crippling Chill. Tap a target creature doesn't untap during his controller's next untap step. Draw a card. Okay. Saw that coming. But still didn't do the same thing. Not what I expected. Still a bit of clues, darn lips. Still a bit of blues classic counter magic. But not quite normal. Closing the gap faster and faster though, so Baral's gonna have to step it up. Otherwise, I will overrun him. And as I said before, the bigger magic he uses, the more he spins, and the more he spins, the less he might have for a counter later. So he's got to decide, is he going to try to overrun me, or just try to counter? Ah! Gold Forge Sentinel flying, and is a 4/4. Okay, that could be a problem. But I do have some things I can use. Steel Wall. Defender. It's just a wall. It just stands there and takes it. Okay, I've got quite a bit. Yeah, I definitely want to use this. Now that's going to remain tapped for now. Ooh, I can Ravaging Blaze. But I don't have any other instant sorcery cards in there. I can use this, however. But, it won't deal enough damage. I can try to cast a twofer. I can cast my Phoenix to draw... oh wait, he has no cards in his hands, so I can do whatever. He has nothing left to cast. Okay, that's good. That's good. So I'm gonna get out my Phoenix anyway. And I can also destroy... I could destroy the wall, but I'd rather use Arcane Teachings to supercharge one of my creatures, namely the Phoenix. Then again, maybe not. Okay, I'm gonna wait till next turn. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cast the Vandal, get rid of that, then fly over it with Phoenix. So Manic Vandal, time to destroy an artifact, because that one counts. Okay, no more flying impediment. Since that's a wall with Defender, it can't actually attack. This is getting a bit tight, though. Now, to be perfectly fair, next turn when I have more creatures to attack with, as long as he doesn't have too much else. Wall of Frost, Defender. When Wall of Frost blocks a creature, that creature doesn't untap during his controller's next untap step. Yeah, it's another way of slowing me down. But that he still has 2 creatures to block with, and I have 4 to fight with. He also has no cards in hand again, so that's good to know. I'm going to Phoenix this up. So, hello Phoenix. I'm going to use the Arcane Teachings. Notice Manic Vandal could probably use a slight upgrade. Gotta be used for something other than just blowing through. Okay, I can't target that. It's gotta use for something other than blowing up artifacts. I'm just gonna scorch you with this. Remember that thing about tapping to attack? I'm just gonna strike you directly. And I have 2 Phoenixes now, so now we're really gonna roast you a little. Because I have Firebirds, yeah. Chandra's Fury. Deals 4 damage to target player and 1 damage to each creature that player controls. Would that actually damage that which can't specifically be targeted? It has hexproof, but this is targeting the player. If this had protection from red, it would be immune. But this is just hexproof. It just can't be targeted. This isn't targeting that. So would this work? So I am curious. Would, like how you say they started it. True. So, yeah. I'm gonna target you and see if it burns that creature. Haha! It worked. Thing is that protection from a color means that it cannot take damage or be targeted or affected by any spell or effect at all of that color. Something a bit more old school, but it may be coming up a few times. So, yeah. Now, with this, I might go all out. Because I'm going to do this, I'm going to scorch that wall a bit more. Okay, now I'm going to attack with all, because I should be able to finish this time. Okay. So these two are going to fly over and hit directly, but I'm curious if he's going to try to block with that, because now that I weakened it for another point, it might just make one last takedown. However, that wall will probably remain. So let's see exactly what the computer decides the last moment. To even try blocking, or going, okay, it's going for it, it's going for the blocks. It's the last moment blocks. Wall of Frost, that Fire Fiend Elemental will not be untapping anytime soon, or ever, because this will be finishing it. The wall is gone, and Baral is out. So Chandra has officially fought back against Captain Baral. That was fairly narrow, though. And a bit more of a turnaround than I expected it to be. So, yeah. Because it's been a long time since I did this particular fight, so I'm not as much in memory of this one, so no. The threat of death at the hands of Captain Baral causes your Planeswalker spark to ignite. In a burst of flame, you leave Kaladesh behind. Your blazing arrival on the plain of Regatha attracts the attention of fire monks from the Carol Keep Monastery. They take you in, and it is there that your pyromantic training begins. She was kind of training on her own before, actually, so wouldn't it be more like your pyromantic training continues? Oh well. Either way, this image is really cool. She's almost like a firebird herself this time, and probably why she's associated with the Phoenixes, so yeah. Anyhow, this has been a good run. So, this has been Glitch Reaper. I'll be logging off. Hope to hear from y'all later. Bye for now, everybody. And remember, Friday Night Magic.